Okay, so now we're going to set up a TriFold job. This is going to be using 100 pound gloss text, which we already have loaded up into tray 1 here. So what we're going to do is there's actually 2 jobs. We're going to select the first one here, and we're going to go down to Impose. And now you'll see everything is set 1 up. What we're going to do is we're going to set this 2 up onto a sheet. So we come up here and go from normal to gang up, and we're going to select repeat. We're going to make sure that our finish size here is 11 by 8.5. We're going to be printing this on a 12 by 18 size sheet. We're going to duplex, or front to back. So we need to change the orientation from landscape to portrait, and we need to have 2 rows and 1 column. We're also going to add a 0.25 inch gutter, so you'll see the gutter appear there. I select my margins to use the non-printable area. Basically this just allows it to get some of this little parts that are on the outside, otherwise the machine automatically puts in about a what's that, 3/6, it's like a little bit more than a 16th. So anyway, I put it on the non-printable area, and then under the marks I'm going to go ahead and just click print trim marks and make sure that the offset is on 0. I hit OK, and then you can see if I zoom in here, it's put the trim marks right where I want them. There's my 1/4 inch gutter. So this is all set up. So I hit the X, I hit yes to save it, and now it'll put it back into the queue under IMP for imposed. And here's where I'm going to set up my properties. So we need 100 of these. So we're printing 2 up. So we only need 50, except that we're going to go ahead and we're going to print about 3 extras just so we have a little bit of setup in case there's some mistakes during the folding process. So under our media, we're going to select our 100 pound text. Layout was already done in the Impose, so we don't have to worry about doing anything there. Our color output, we just select our plane profile, and under our finishing, this is only a 1 sheet, so we don't have to worry about really changing anything else up here. So now we're just going to go ahead and go to print. And give it a second after it rips, and you'll see it's going to pull from tray 1. Okay. Front to back. Okay, we'll go ahead and let this print, and I'm going to show you how it cuts and folds. Okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut our TriFold brochures that we printed earlier. So these were printed on our Versafire front to back, and now we have to trim it out before we can take it over to the fold. So first thing you want to do is jog it up nice and neat. And we're going to make our first cut over here down to the bottom crop mark here. actually, what I'm going to do is I have a program already set up for this. Go in there and find it. Okay. And I'll activate my program. Yep. So we make our first cut here. We're going to rotate. And now we go to 11 inches, so we're going to go all the way around, trim to our finish size to 11 inches. Now we're going to rotate back, and since this is 8.5, there's a 1/4 inch gutter, that's a total of 17.25. Put that in to trim the top. Then it's going to rotate to your finished position of 8.5. Now you have a finished 8.5 by 11 size sheet. And now this one still has the 1/4 inch gutter in there. So we have to turn this around and trim that out. Finished. If you're wondering what the little yellow strip was in there, there's actually 2 different versions, so I put a separated sheet in the middle so I can tell where everything's at. So that's it. Now we'll take it on over to the folder and I'll show you that process. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to TriFold these brochures. This is our Foldmaster Touchline CF375. It has an integrated scorer, so it'll score and fold. So first thing we're going to do is, since this is a TriFold, we need to put it in basically backwards because it's going to score and fold this position first, and then that'll tuck in underneath this fold here for the final product. So first thing I do is set up the paper in the machine exactly how I want it with the backstop, the side guide and everything. Next, we're going to go into the control panel, and let me see if you can see that from there. Get a little closer. Okay. All right. So, what we're going to do here is we're going to change the size of our document, and this is going to be a letter. And this is going to be a thinner sheet of paper, and we want this tells the controls the depth of the score. So in this case, since we're using just 100-pound gloss text, we do not want a really deep score. So I go ahead and I make that into the thinnest position. I also changed this from the thickest paper down to like the 0.2. So now you have all the different fold types here. In this case, we're going to do a TriFold. So if I leave it on the default position, let me just go back in there and show you real quick. This tells me whether I want to score it. So if I, for instance, if I don't want to score, I can select that, and now it won't score. Or if I don't want to fold, I can have it just score and not fold. But by having both of these unhighlighted, then what it'll do is it'll score and then fold. Okay? So in here, you can basically set a batch counter. So what I'm going to do is every 50 sheets, I'm going to rubber band these and I'm going to put them in a box. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to tell my counter 50. And what that'll do is every 50 the machine will stop, and then I can go ahead and grab them off the output tray and rubber band them in 50s. Okay, so the T here is for test. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one real quick as a test to see how it comes out. And there's your finished piece. So if I check this, let's see how well it registered up. It looks pretty good. This tucked in nicely. I have my 3 panels here. There's nothing on the back on this. And this is actually, whoever did the artwork setup on this did everything nice, because there's lots of nice borders. Sometimes when you do trifolds, people like to put the text like right up next to the edge where the fold is, and then it's really hard to register it one way or the other. So this is actually perfect. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to run with this. So I'm going to pause it real quick while I get everything set up, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. What I have here is some rubber bands, and I have a box that I'm going to put all of this in. So I'm going to go ahead and just set the camera up and just kind of let this run and do its thing. The tripod will hold steady on me. Okay. All right. So the loud banging, what it's doing is the knife is coming down and exploring. Then it enters into the hold position. You can see the counter in the top right-hand corner of the screen here. It's counting down, and what happens is when it gets to 0, it'll stop and wait for me to go ahead and tell it to do the next step. Now it's hit 0 and the machine stops. Now basically I come in, I activate the conveyor belt to push the sheets, and then I hold the green button again and it starts the next set. Now you have a full set here, 50. Just take a rubber band and then box it up. Let this run, and then I'll just speed up the video so you can see the whole process. Okay, that's it. Had a few extras that I didn't need, so we'll keep those for samples for a future customer. But that's it. Now we have our box here with everything all tri-folded up and rubber banded. Probably replace that one. But that's it. That's how we do a tri-fold from start to finish. Thanks for watching.